So today we're very privileged. I have to say this with a smile, with Herman and Jaques and Nick to join us, just purely because we really do enjoy it. We have some fun questions today. It's not our questions. The comms team came up with it. So we have cue cards or cheat cards. So we're going to read them. And I think the sequence is also randomized. So we'll see who takes the questions. But enjoy them. It's going to be fun. Okay, on the theme of impact and transformation, Herman, can you describe a moment when you realized that technology truly changed the way that PPS operates and delivers value?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. You don't realize it immediately. You start using it every day, and then it's that time when something that has been working for a while and you've been using a lot of time is just not available. Then you realize the value it brings, how much you're using it in your everyday job. So I think that for me is definitely one of the times where I've noticed one of the technologies or things we've developed. Because you don't really become so part of your everyday BAU, you don't even realize it's this thing that you didn't have a while ago. So I think that's for me has been a realization of it's really changed the way we deliver things, what we do, and it's really entrenched into our operations. Yeah.
Stabs, I think you have a question that's going to latch onto that a bit later.
Yeah.
Nick, this is a difficult one. How has technology shifted the way your team thinks or approaches decision making?
I think there's a number of dimensions on that one. At the top level, strategically, so we have a pretty cool strategic execution platform we use that helps us look at where we are in our various strategic initiatives from that perspective. So we know where the progress is with different teams working on different projects. We can see the interconnects between them. We have dynamic metrics in terms of how far they're getting. Some of the ratings are qualitative, some are quantitative, but that's I guess at a high level gives us a good lens from big strategic projects. And I guess through the business, it's just a series of dashboards and automation reports and stuff that comes through the different business units. We're not there yet perfectly, but trying to give the various business units optics of where they are and the different perspectives of what their objectives are.
Nick, again, if your technology could solve one problem perfectly for people in your ecosystem, what would that be?
Look, I think we've come a long way in terms of the ease of doing business on new business take on in the life space. But it is a constant source of competitive angst amongst the various life insurance companies. And it would be really nice to just know, without a shadow of a doubt, that we were ahead of the competition. So when we get told by advisors, you've got to work on that or work on that or work on that, we actually already know the answer. So the silver bullet to me would be to be just ahead of the curve as far as that's concerned.
Okay.
To switch things up a bit, we're going to touch on risks, challenges, and learning. And Jaques, your name is up. So, was there ever a scary moment with your technology development? I mean, a time when you were not sure whether it would work or not?
Application development? Yeah, I think in the early days, there was a few times that we had to make big decisions about stop-go when we were busy building solutions to the business. And we saw it wasn't achieving the desired results, both when it was at a technical delivery, but also where the business were actually ready to receive it. So we were at a stage, also at a point, trying to understand how does stability look like in the organization and whether we continuously need to add more before we achieve a level of stability. And that was the strategic decision we had to make, is slow down some of the new and then drive quality and stability. And that was necessary to lay a strong foundation, and that's how we managed that.
Yeah. And the next one is yours as well. If technology in your organization were to fail, I mean, what would be the sequence of events, and what does that say about its value, the technology that is?
Yeah, so I think Herman had a good point about you only notice it when it's gone. But if something were to fail, obviously, we've rehearsed it from a business continuity plan. So there are strategies in place on how to keep the business going. Our priority remains on the back of how do we continue servicing the members as a priority, and particularly when it comes to things like paying claims. We need to remain relevant there. So when we start looking at failures, we'll probably tier those and say a more important failure like being able to service a member or paying a claim will be more impactful or significant than something small in the organization. And that's, I think, always going to be a thing for us to understand that there's people always in the mix. As far as we can, we'll automate and try to standardize. But as much as we are reliant on the people, I think therein lies a lot of the success as well. Having talented people in the team allows us to get out of these difficult situations. Yeah. So yes, there's a liability of relying on people, but there's also an upside of having an organization with a strong culture and having the right people in there that can jump in and actually solve something.
Okay, Herman, were there any assumptions that you made on anything at the start that turned out to be completely wrong?
Absolutely. I think by the nature of the definition, an assumption is not, exactly how things are going to pan out.
Yeah.
So as an example, some of the technologies we've built, you would assume your end customers are going to interact with it in a certain way. Your intermediaries are going to use it like this to write new business. And they're using it, but not the way we thought they're going to use it for what we think it's going to be used. So it's still very useful, but we are still, learning along the way how things are getting used. And it's never going to, I don't think it's ever going to change. We must just always keep on being flexible.
And we have to reserve a lot of capacity, spare capacity to be agile. Don't be too invested in the original idea, as it were.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then I think the next one is yours as well. What's the most surprising lesson your team learned regarding technology development?
I won't necessarily say surprising, but I think the important thing is having the right partner. Going on this journey, because it is a big investment. It's a long, it's an important step. It's for the business, it's for the members, it's for everyone, and you need to make sure you partner with the right people. You need to understand each other. The culture, the way you work together needs to work well. That's when you're going to come up with a good solution. Otherwise, you're asking for trouble.
You're playing with your funds. I think that's it.
So, Nick, it's you. From an innovation and tech perspective, was there a breakthrough during development, any development, that made you stop and say, oh, wow?
Yeah, there's a live example now, which you probably can't talk a lot about, but we have been on a path to explore how we can properly leverage AI for not just internal benefits, but for the benefits of our members, the advisors that service them, and their broader communities. And as I suppose most people in the last few years, as we start peeling back the layers of the potential of this and what can be done, it's been staggering. I tell people, with this project, I went away for a 3-week holiday in July, came back and went to go and see an update. I didn't recognize what it looked like after 3 weeks. That's the pace of how things, I'm sure you guys see it in your world, but that was just astonishing.
Okay. Thank you. Jacques, sticking with innovation and tech, with your favorite tech, we're not supposed to have favorites, but bear with me. What's a hidden feature or capability that most people wouldn't expect, but changes everything for you?
Most people wouldn't expect that I know it or that it exists.
I knew you would say that.
So I think, I play a lot with some of the new large language models and those kind of things. We've been experimenting with it quite a bit. And Nick also mentions how we are planning to use that in some of the larger ecosystems and things that we do. I think what most people will probably not think that I do will be to use it for diagnostic purposes outside of work. So I don't think it just has a place in the work environment. But when it comes to work, I think one always need to be careful what you trust. So there's some professionalism, and I used to always tell the people, but you have to also use your own judgment. So yeah, I'm not sure of a specific hidden feature, but I think there's hidden value in some of the tools that we use these days, which extends beyond just work.
Nick? future and vision? You alluded a little bit to some of the future plans that you guys have. But looking ahead, what's the most exciting, or might I say terrifying, thing that you could imagine technology doing in your field in the next 5 to 10 years?
Sure. I think the most terrifying thing is the implication on our business model. So we tread a very careful line that we are a fully intermediated business, and some of the technology we build is designed to make life easier for the member, the end consumer, whilst at the same time being supportive of the advisor. I'm not so sure that the broader development world has that same respect for intermediaries that we have. So it's the balance between making life easier for people without disintermediating the advisor. And hopefully we'll be able to bring things to market in the near future which focus very much on co-creation of financial plans rather than individuals trying to self-diagnose their financial. So I think that's the part that I think is very terrifying from a work perspective. The thing that keeps me awake is what the current world of artificial intelligence will do politically in the world. So I'm personally very anxious about the political state of the world, not a technology risk, but the risk of artificial intelligence being used in a very dangerous way to videos of politicians, videos of false news, false information, false everything. And I just don't know that the filters are there to control that. So it's not a tech conversation, but that's the part that on a macro level really, really worries me, because that can extend to product comparisons. It can extend to testimonials about companies. There could be people doing, fake videos of any of us talking about PPS in a way that we wouldn't want, completely counter to our principles and our values and our aspirations. So that's the thing that really scares me.